So today we are going to learn quadratics. Right, quadratics from scratch. So what is quadratics? Right. So first of all, we will have a few examples and understand what is a quadratic. Fx is equal to ax plus b. Fx is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. That is x. Fx is equal to a x to the power 3 plus bx to the power 2 plus cx plus d, right? So we can have functions like this. Okay, yeah, so these are examples. I'm not teaching anything yet. So this is y. If you can say, if you want to say, you can say y is equal to x plus b, y is equal to x squared plus bx plus c, or y is equal to this. So don't worry about this at this point. Okay, but this I will teach you in the next lectures. So you can say y is equal to x plus b. Now here we have two kind of variables, x and y. X is called independent variable. Y is called dependent variable. Right? Dependent variable. Now we will look into the maximum power. Now we will look into the maximum power here. So maximum power of the independent variable. So here it's 1. Power means here, the power means the power of the variable here. See, you can see the maximum power is 2 here. Then there is a power 1. Right? Here you have 3, here you have 2, here you have 1. Right? So this is called the power. So the maximum power here, or the exponent we call it, maximum power, that would be 1 here. What is the maximum power here? Maximum power here is 2. 2. The maximum power here is 3. Maximum power is 3. An equation which has maximum power is equal to 2 is called the quadratic. It's a quadratic. So this is going to be the quadratic function. This is called the quadratic function. Now maximum power is 1 here, right? So these kind of stuff we call linear functions. And then here, the third one, the maximum power is 3. We call them cubic functions. Okay? So that's how you simply differentiate the power functions. So factorizing quadratic functions. Okay, so we can simply divide this into 2 parts. First one is general factorization. I will teach you what it is. General factorization. The second part would be perfect square method. Perfect square method. Now, so now, first of all, we will look into the general factorization. Right, general factorization. Suppose you have a function like y is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. Then, so if you have a equation like this, This is the general factorization, remember. First of all, you will get this number over here. So this is plus 1. And you multiply that with the last number. So that would be plus 1 multiplied with plus 6. That's going to be 6, right? Then you will produce all the possible multiples of 6. All the possible multiples of 6. That means so we have to write all possible multiples. So minus 3 times minus 2 also possible. 6 times 1 also possible. Minus 6 times minus 1 also possible. Right? So once we get that, next what we do is, next we will add these coefficients. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. Minus 6 minus 1 is minus 7. Then what we will do, we will look at the middle coefficient. Middle coefficient is plus 5. Then we will select the middle coefficient from what we have chosen. This one. So once you identify that, you will rewrite your function in this way. Y is equal x squared. Now number 5, positive 5 is written in terms of these two values, 3 and 2, which is plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. So now when you write in this way, you will select the first two terms here. When you select the first two terms, x is a common factor. So you take x out, then the remainder would be x plus 3. Then you take the second part of the function. There plus 2 is common, so x plus 3. Now once you have that, again you will get this whole thing. X plus 3, you can see from here, x plus 3 is again common to both sides, both parts. So you take x plus 3 out. So when you take x plus 3 out from the first term, x is the remainder. If you take x plus 3 from the second one, 2 is the remainder, plus 2. And that would be the answer. And that is what we call factorization. Okay, so now I will do it quickly. So you have plus 1 over here. So plus 1 times plus 4 is plus 4. So you divide this, you sort of construct this as plus 2 times plus 2. So when you add that, it's going to be plus 4, and you can match the middle term with this. So then you will rearrange this. So y is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4. Now you will get this term, and x is a common factor. So it would be x plus 2 now, plus then you take the other two terms, take 2 out. So it's going to be x plus 2. Now when you consider the whole thing here, x plus 2 is common, so x plus 2, when you take x plus 2, here you get x plus 2 is from here. So now the answer would be x plus 2, the whole thing squared. So that is the factorization of this. Okay, so here you have plus 1. So plus 1 times minus 3 is going to be minus 3. So this can be written as, minus 3 times 1, right? When you add that, it's going to be minus 2. So you can match that number with the coefficient here. So what you do, now you will rearrange the middle term. So that would be minus 3x plus x minus 3. Now you can take x out from here, then that would be x minus 3. Now here you have nothing common but 1. So x minus 3. So when you take the whole thing, you get x minus 3, and here you get x plus 1. and that would be the answer to that question. So in this question, so you have plus 2 here, you multiply plus 2 with minus 1, so it's going to be minus 2. So minus 2 you construct in this way, so 2 times minus 1. So when you add, you get 1, and that you have here. So it would be 2x squared, now plus 2x minus x minus 1. Now if you look at this, 2x is common factor. When you take 2x out, you get x plus 1. If you get this one, minus 1 is common, so if you take minus 1, so x plus 1. Now when you take this term and the other term, you can see x plus 1 is common, so you take x plus 1 out, then you will get 2x minus 1 as the other term, and that would be the answer. Okay, so now here, so you're going to multiply 2 with minus 6, it's going to be minus 12. So minus 12 is 4 times 3, minus 4 times 3. When you add these together, you get minus 1, which is the requirement you need here. So then 2x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 6. That is what you get here. Then here 2x is common, so x minus 2. So you can take 3 out from here, so it's x minus 2. When you take the whole thing here, x minus 2 is common, so you take x minus 2 out. It's going to be 2x plus 3. That would be the answer to the question. So now the second method, perfect square method. So in the perfect square method, I will teach you the most general way of doing it, and then we can extend that into few examples. Suppose y is equal to ax plus x squared plus bx plus c. It's quadratic. If you have this, I'm going to take a out. So that would be x squared plus b divided by ax plus c divided by a. So how do you make sure your math is right? So you can simply multiply the bracket and then like this, and then you can make sure that you get the previous one. Now what we do, by looking at this we are going to transform in this way. Now you can see here there are two x values here, which is complicated. What you will do, you keep a out. Instead of two x's, you write 1x, and then what you do, you take this one, and then you multiply that by half. So that would be plus b divided by 2a. After that, once you take the full square, you write down this as it is, plus c divided by e. You write down that as it is. More importantly, after that, this is very important, you minus the square of this one. That's it. Now what we can do, we can simplify inside, because these are constant values. So a x plus b divided by 2a squared we are not going to touch, but here you can have c divided by a minus b squared divided by 4a squared. So this part over here can simplify. So how do you simplify this? So to do that, you will get the common denominator. You multiply this by 4a, you multiply this by 4a. Then that would be, so now you can write x plus b divided by 2a here. Then when you get the common denominator, you get 4a squared common in the denominator. So numerator you have 4ac minus b squared, and that is how you represent that in perfect square method. Yeah. So y is equal to, I will do x plus 5 divided by 2 squared, then I will copy whatever here, then always minus the number you have here. So it's going to be 25 divided by 4. Now you can further simplify this one, x plus 5 divided by 2 squared plus, when you multiply you have 1 here, so you have to multiply by 4, so it's going to be 24 minus 25 divided by 4. So the answer would be x plus 5 divided by 2 squared minus 1 divided by 4. That is the perfect square method. Next example, if you have y is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 1, right, factorize using perfect square method. Okay, we'll try this now. Okay, so this one would be y is equal to x minus 3 divided by 2 whole thing squared, you copy plus 1, and then minus 9 divided by 4 here, the square of that, right? So x minus 3 divided by 2, 9 divided by 2, because 9 divided by 4, because we have to always square of this term. Okay, so this is going to be 4 minus 9 divided by 4. So this is equal to x minus 3 divided by 2, the whole thing squared. You get minus 5 divided by 4. And that's the factorization using perfect square method. So you can see, now when you have a question like this, we are not specified which method to use. So generally people use general method because that is the most convenient and easiest method to use. So here 1 times 5 would be 5 plus 5. So you have to see, you have to check all possible values so that you will get plus 5, right? So it's just 1 times 5 and minus 1 times minus 5 is plus 5. So when you add, you have 6 here. When you add here, you have minus 6. So you wouldn't be able to produce plus 4 here and there, right? That is the clue to you, so that you will know that general method wouldn't work. General method wouldn't work. So if general method wouldn't work, you have to definitely try the perfect square method. Okay, so now you will try perfect square method. So that would be x plus 2 squared plus 5 minus 4. So the answer would be x plus 2 whole thing squared plus 1. That's the answer. So perfect square method works. So we have to remember, in any test you will get a question like this, factorize a quadratic. So you will use the general method, and if it doesn't work, you have to go for the other method and do it. So that's how you determine how to do factorization from scratch.